What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at, people. So clearly you see the title of the broadcast. And yes, I titled it this way because definitely Obama is overstepping boundaries again. Him and Michelle. Now, we all remember that situation that went down at the DNC and stuff like that. You know, Michelle got out there talking about disrespecting the women need to disrespect their households and go behind their husbands' backs and do all this type of, voting this way. And we also, heard Obama get out there and try to chastise men. But you know what? We're going to go here now and we're going to recap before we dive deep off into what Obama just had to say about what men need to do with their sons. So we're going to go here now and we're going to recap on what Obama just did this past recent election. Let's go here now.
We have not yet seen the same kinds
I forgot. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. When you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you,
or with you,
understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Hey.
What the French toast is there to think about?
So, we had Obama come out this past recent election, and we all know it was a huge thing. It was a huge problem, definitely amongst black men. He came out talking out the side of his neck after, his wife had all that to say at the damn DNC. So, and this is the huge issue right here. This is the first off disrespect. So we're going to go here now and continue to watch this disrespect unfold with Obama trying to tell men what they need to do with their sons. The disrespect does not seem to stop here. I don't understand what's going on with Obama in his thought process. Listen. I'm not getting this. I'm not understanding what is happening with this man's issues. He needs to go somewhere and sit down, enjoy his millions, go to enjoy his stuff on Martha's Vineyard, chill out, dude. You're doing too much out here. You're doing too much.
What the French toast is there to think about?
This is crazy out here. This is crazy.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
Right. So
hold on here.
They have somebody that they can go.
My issue here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
My issue here is this. Obama trying to tell men how to raise their sons. And we already have a huge issue in the black community where we don't have enough fathers in the household and stuff like that. Statistically, this is true. The numbers actually prove it. But at the same time, though, too, the numbers are actually slowly but surely changing. We're seeing that more black fathers are being more active in their children's lives. So, this is the case here. How dare he get on here and continue the disrespect of black men? This is the second time that, well, I'm pretty sure there's others, but this is with the footage I just showed you when he was at the Kamala's rally and disrespected black men, and now he's disrespecting black men again, trying to tell black men that they're not good enough, even if they're good fathers. Even if they're good fathers. And Michelle just back there cackling and shit. Yeah. Even if they're good fathers, they're not enough. They're not enough.
What the French toast is there to think about?
How dare you two sit on that damn weak ass podcast that y'all got talking out the side of your necks, trying to tell black men what they need to do with their sons. Y'all don't see y'all talking about what we need to do with our daughters out here with the fast dresses on, talking out the side of their necks. She a two talking about she need a man to make 500 damn grand a fucking year.
What the French toast is there to think about? God damn it. You can't make this shit up.
This is ridiculous. But then, no, too, you know what I'm saying? He's sitting here totally disrespecting black men's households. That's our personal business, how we raise our children. And at the end of the damn day, you know what I'm saying, for a man to want to raise his sons and to be productive men and stuff like that, to be also productive men for the family bloodline, that's how he's supposed to raise his son. A man raising his son is enough for his son and his daughters. That's enough. I don't need outside influences telling me how to raise my child and stuff like that. That's the problem that we're having today. Too much daycare, all this type of stuff, raising our children, all this crazy chaos, no real community, no real families and stuff like that. In order for these people to raise it, in order to instill actual basic humanity structure in these young people so they could grow up and be decent human beings. This is ridiculous. I don't need you to tell me that I need some outside influence in my family. That's the whole problem that we're having today in society. It's too many outside influences influencing our children. He talking out the side of his neck, but we're going to keep going here because we got a lot here, you know what I'm saying, that we're about to cover. And, you know what I'm saying, we got people at the same time, though, too, that are actually, you know what I'm saying, really pissed off with Obama, men and women out here, because this is crazy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? How the disrespect that this man and his wife just keep going. And they also added in the damn her brother and shit on this. This is wild out here. These people need to stay off these drugs. Get off them drugs, Obama. Get off them drugs. You and your wife. This is ridiculous. Let's go here now. Let's check this out.
Barack, what? Why? It's like there's an agenda to eradicate masculine men. What is this war against men? I just can't understand it. Why does a straight man need to confide in a feminine man for anything? Let's normalize men being men. The agenda you're pushing, it's not working. People are not falling for that anymore. Not even people in that community. It's
right.
Not cool. I'm
right.
raising a young man, and I want him to be just that. A young man. He can go to his father, his uncle, his cousins, or any other masculine man to get the answers that he needs. He doesn't need to confide in a man who can't even relate to the issues he's going through.
Right. And these are the facts. These are the facts. And people want to try to escape that situation that, you know what I'm saying, young men are going through a lot out here. They're being bombarded with a lot of different situations, energies, and all types, if you want to use that term, stuff like that. I mean, I'm just being honest here. It's a lot that, definitely young black men are dealing with in today's society, and from their own families as well. And It's crazy that we're, having to have these conversations, and that Obama is just out here being ratchet like this. Yet again, Obama and his wife is sticking their nosy, busy noses in other grown folks' business, talk about how a man's supposed to raise his son. All right.
Barack Hussein Obama has lost his mind. I cannot believe he hopped on Michelle Obama's podcast and said that God-forsaken nonsense. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Barack Obama said boys don't need just their father in their life as a father figure, because he can only be one dad. You need another male in your life to give you perspective on the father. And that male should be a homosexual. And I'm here to tell you right now, my father is in my life. And you know who else I had as a role model outside of my father? I had my granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My great great granddaddy. You know who else I had as a role model? My uncles. You know who else I had as a role model? My cousins. Then this ain't no diss to the community, the LBGT community, but this is Barack Obama saying this nonsense. We need more men to be in our kids' lives more than ever, especially within the black community. We need the fathers. How dare he get out there, use the LBGTQ folks as a pawn to be able to spread his nonsense?
Hallelujah.
And that's exactly what that is. It's plenty of role models to be out here to teach the kids. What is a homosexual male going to teach me? What is a homosexual male going to be able to teach some of these boys? They need their father in their lives, and they need to be around some other men that are not homosexual.
Yo, hey.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
He said it, I didn't. But my issue here is that, yes, society needs strong men. Society, society needs everybody. I'm not knocking what anybody does in their personal time, stuff like that. But see, though, we've taken this situation that, people do in their bedrooms and making it public. I don't give a fuck what nobody does in their bedroom. I don't give a damn. That's your personal business. And in today's society, we're tired of seeing everybody's personal business. Even with women walking around here being on fucking, all these apps and stuff like that, half naked all the time, walk around public half naked. We're tired of seeing it all. But back to the point at hand here. It's crazy to me that, Obama's trying to tell people how they should live their lives, and we didn't, that's not what you're supposed to do. We don't need you telling, men how to raise their sons and stuff like that. That's ridiculous. And, yeah. And I had a tremendous amount of decent men in my life, good men, solid thinking men, and stuff like that. Now, no life is perfect. No family is perfect, but the men that I grew up around and stuff like that taught me things. And, one thing I definitely noticed about this new age generation that's, and I'm an early millennial, it's like they can barely do anything. They either change a tire, unclog a pipe or any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where are your manly skills? And, for me to have these skills gives me a sense of gratification that I could, change a sink or, even change a toilet or pipes in my house and all other types of things. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a sense of purpose. And I love doing that when it's time for me to, do these types of maintenance things and stuff like that I know I can also keep more money in my pocket because I know what the fuck I'm doing.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? This new age stuff is wild to me. And I see these young men out here that they can't even, they can't do nothing. And it's wild to me. It's why it's like these are basic survival skills that a lot of these young men don't have. But you know what I'm saying? You want these young men to be like, Jesus, man. Oh my goodness. Let's keep going. Let's just keep going.
So apparently we've been doing it wrong, you guys. Who knew that to raise emotionally intelligent boys that they needed gay friends? I mean, I was today years old when I learned that.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was a...
We said what now?
What'd you say, not Chuck?
Come again. Not wisdom. No, not fathers, not faith, not a strong role, a male role model rooted in truth. No, just sprinkle in some LGBTQ representation and boom, you've got yourself a wholesome man. Y'all, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Barack Hussein Obama, the melanin messiah himself. Y'all, he said this on a podcast with Michelle of all places. And once again, we've got a whole lot of foolishness masquerading as wisdom, and Barack and Michelle Obama are once again telling on themselves. Y'all, let's get into it. Hey, you guys, join me.
Yeah, this is wild right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to see where we at. You know, Barack, man, it's time for you to go sit down, bro. You know, and my real issue about this whole situation is you trying to tell you're still trying to tell black men what the fuck to do. You just holding on. You just keep holding on to this bullshit, man. Barack, you just keep holding on to this, man. It's time for you to go sit down, bro. It's time for you to go sit down, man. Go sit down somewhere, have a real beer. I ain't talking about none of that weak ass crap. Have a Budweiser. I'm old school, a Budweiser. Get you some OE. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, a lot of the OGs out there know that type of beer I'm hollering at. Yeah, get you some Budweiser, get you an OE, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little gin and juice up in your soul, bro. Get you some real stuff up in you. And you won't be talking out the side of your neck to other grown-ass men about what they need to do in their households and how they need to raise their sons and daughters. This is ridiculous, bro. This is ridiculous. Get you some, man. All right, let's go here now.
Obama said, what? Huh? Nah, see, now I got to call my mom and pops, man. I've been trying to tell them folks about Obama, but they're going to have to hear me this time. Obama said boys need to have more exposure than just from their father. Their father can't be everything to them. They need to have a friend, a boy that swing the other way to teach them sympathy and empathy. Brother, I ain't never heard something as dumb as that a day in my life. Because you telling me I'm a father. So one, I'm all my son need from a father figure perspective.
Shout out to that. Shout out to that. That's just plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? That's just plain and simple. And I don't, you know, so far I don't see nothing wrong with what everybody has rebutted to with Obama's talking points and his wife. Basically, I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know, you want to raise your children and things like that. Should nobody have an opinion in your life and your family? Should nobody be trying to push an agenda upon you or none of that shit? You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to live their life how they want to live them. I don't care whether you gay, straight. It don't fucking matter to me. Black, white, you know what I'm saying? Purple, green. You have the right to live your life and raise your family and things like that the way that you need to. Long as you trying to be a productive citizen and you raising your family and raising your people to be decent folks in society that are being productive and want something out of life, that's not trying to be terrorists and treacherous to other people around them. Just as real, bro.
So telling fathers out here that your young boy, your son, need to have other dudes in his life to teach him stuff is crazy already.
Right.
That's one thing.
Right.
Then you're going to jump over the mother because it's like, cool, I can't provide the empathy and sympathy. Let's just say that's what your mama is for. How you going to jump over the mama and say that's why you should have a friend that swing the other way to teach that to your son?
Did y'all just hear? Hold on now. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. 'Cause
the
I don't think y'all
dudes
heard.
in his life to teach him stuff is crazy already. That's one thing. Then you gonna jump over the mother because
Right.
it's like, cool, I can't provide the empathy and sympathy. Let's just say that's what your mama is for.
That right. Hold on. Right.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
That's what your mother's for. That's the whole balance of having, you know, the traditional family, and everybody wants to denounce that nowadays, and you know, just try to figure this out their own way and stuff like that. And that's the reason why we're having all these problems. The yin and the yang. Yes, the father's supposed to provide the discipline, the structure, and the dynamics that keep the logistics going in the whole family. The mother's supposed to provide the empathy, the sympathy, and the compassion to make sure that, you know, say everybody knows when it's time to actually give a fuck, and the father gives the time when it's that everybody knows when it's time to not give a fuck. Basically, let's just break this down. You know, I mean, no, and you just overstep. And see, that's the problem with this feminist situation that's not being realized by a lot of women. Feminism is actually Xing a lot of women out. It's Xing women out. It's destroying women's, you know, roles in society, and it's also destroying men's. And we clearly see what's going on here, but nobody actually wants to pick up the baton and try to swat this shit out the game. You know, well, pick up the bat and try to knock the ball out the park, because it's time to get the ball out of the park. You know, we done been 9 innings and more just tossing, just slapping this ball around. It's time for Babe Ruth to come on in and knock this ball out the park. We got to get rid of this ball. We got to get rid of
So
it.
what the French toast is there
This
to
ball
think
has been
about?
destructive. It's been nothing but chaos with this ball inside the diamond. It's time to get this ball out the park.
How you gonna jump over the mama and say that's why you should have a friend that swing the other way to teach that to your son? Bro, Obama finna piss me off. He already did. Then he said, yeah, because you never know. Whenever you have a son one day, and if he turns out to swing the other way, now he got a role model for him. And now he got somebody like, that's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I gotta call my folks, because that might be, nah. Like having a 2-parent household is already hard enough, right? Dudes having their fathers, boys having fathers in their life is already hard enough. Now you saying if you got a father, if they got a father, that's not good enough. Your dad can't be everything to you. You need to have a boy, a man in your life that swing the other way. That's crazy.
So this is where we at. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Yo. I'm sorry, man. Like I can't stand with Obama and the foolishness that him and his wife is trying to constantly push. This is ridiculous here. You know what I'm saying? And to try to tell people what to do in their own households and how to raise their children, you know, and as long as you're raising your children to be decent human beings and stuff like that, not out here terrorizing the community and stuff like that, that's what we really want. We want decent human beings and not terrorists. But the thing of this is Obama is just continuously trying to, you know, push this movement and things like that on everybody. And see, that's the huge issue that everybody's talking about. Nobody wants anything pushed on them. Everybody has the right to make their own decisions and live their own lives. Nobody wants anything pushed on them. And for Obama to sit there and tell men how to, you know, raise their sons when he never had a son, him or Michelle never had a son. And this is also what's going down. I've heard Michelle on her own podcast say that, you know, she's glad she never had a son out here. She happy that she never had a son. Go back to their podcast, look that shit up. She said that out her own damn mouth. She glad she never had a little Barack. Could you imagine a little Barack walking around? She said she glad she never had a son. So it's amazing to me that two individuals that got together decided to maybe reproduce. Who knows what the fuck going on? And the thing of this is trying to get on these podcasts and stuff like that, and trying to tell the rest of the world and men out, definitely men and ainly mostly black men, how to raise their sons when they don't have one son to fucking first. Not one, not an ounce of a son anywhere around them. I ain't seen them play with no nephews, none of that shit. So Michelle's brother ain't got no sons. You know what I'm saying? Michelle brother ain't got no sons. I ain't seen them play with no nephews, none of that shit. Man, stop it. Stop it right now. This is crazy to me. And it should be crazy to you. Out here letting Obama talk out the side of his neck like he's still somebody important out here. Man, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.